Hey guys, welcome back to Missing Out Mondays, where we tell you what we're into. Start your week off right. I'm Tauri Jay.
I am Lex Michael.
Lex Michael. I'm gonna go first this week. Eat a butt.
No.
Yeah.
I'm cool with the first part, less the second part.
That's what Christmas hams are made out of. Pig butt.
Well, I ain't had no Christmas ham in quite some time, sir.
So this week I decided to start watching Cowboy Bebop. We recently got the announcement of the live action crew.
Yes.
So we got John Cho as Spike. We have Mustafa Shakir as Jet. And then Daniela Pineda as Faye Valentine. Mm-hmm. And so I realized that I've never seen the whole series from start to bottom. I've seen episodes here and there because back when it was airing, it was before streaming existed.
Right.
And it was all linear. So I would see it here and there on Comedy or Cartoon Network. And then they would sometimes play it in the back when we were in Anime Club. And so I've never seen it all the way through. And so I decided that I'm gonna... are you laughing at my Anime Club? You laughing at Anime Club?
I am 100% definitely not.
What are you some kind
laughing
of
at
fucking
that.
jock? What are you, some kind of fucking popular
I am
kid?
definitely something double negative laughing at that.
But Anime Club's great. But yeah, so I really wanted to dive in and see it from top to bottom so that when the live action show comes out, I can judge it harshly and tell everyone it's bad. That's not what I'm going to do. I'm actually really excited for it. I just want to be able to experience Cowboy Bebop in its original form before the new one comes out.
Totally fair.
Yeah.
I have never watched Cowboy Bebop. I might one day, as is well established at this point on this particular program. I'm not an anime person. So
you're a real person.
But so what caught my attention about this live action remake, re-envisioning that they're doing is the casting of John Cho, who I think is a tremendous actor, and it's great. Every time he gets a lead part in something, my first reaction is hell yeah, well deserved, and my second reaction is this is probably going to be worth checking out.
Yeah.
And yeah, no part of that for me is I'm that interested in the source material. Though I keep being told, because it's now in the conversation again by a couple of friends, that there's a decent chance, even as a non-anime person, I might be able to get into it because it shares elements in common with a lot of things I am a fan of. It's entirely possible I'll just end up checking out the new one and I'll be all set.
Okay. I mean, I definitely agree with your friends that it has a very, like, you like Firefly? It's like Firefly. You like Star Wars? It's like Star Wars. You like cowboy things? It's like cowboy things. Like, it has a lot of elements that I think that you would enjoy. I think you'd still have that barrier of entry in terms of the anime disconnect. Mm-hmm. But I think that, like, after the first couple episodes, you'll get over it. But I also am interested in seeing your perspective of watching the live action first with no context and then maybe checking out a few episodes of the original.
I feel like if it's well done, if anything, it'll make it easier for me to like. Yeah. Almost all of the anime people that I know have
spiky hair.
All right. Have let's say less than rapturous feelings about Netflix's Death Note movie.
Yes, it's bad.
Well, sure, okay, but I think that opinion is largely predicated on your familiarity with the source material and its proficiency as an adaptation, because not knowing anything about the source material, it worked for me.
Interesting.
It didn't work for me to an extent that I really want to go and delve into the other versions. I really do feel like I got everything I needed out of that concept. But I wonder if I would like it at all if I had steeped myself in the source material initially.
Interesting. I mean, because that's how I wanted to go into it. Is I wanted to go in as fresh as possible, forgetting all of the source material. And it just, I think that the characterizations just didn't work for me. And maybe it was beautiful. There were a lot of really cool shots.
Yeah.
But the characters were weird cartoons. Anyway, Lex, what are you into this week?
Speaking of weird cartoons,
Yeah.
this weekend I, as I believe you did as well, checked out SHAZAM. SHAZAM. I went in not knowing what exactly to expect, as it definitely seemed like a decidedly hard pivot from the tone that DC has been operating with in their films for quite some time. I found it absolutely delightful.
Yeah.
I was not expecting, as I maybe should have been, how much of a kid movie it was going to be, while at the same time being punctuated with moments that are super dark.
Yeah.
It felt in that way, and I've seen a couple of people making this comparison, tonally almost felt a little bit like a Ghostbusters, for example. The original Ghostbusters was pretty light. It was a pretty light movie, but it was punctuated with these really occasionally intense and if you're a small child, frightening creature moments.
Yeah.
And I believe the villain in the movie, Dr. Savannah, played by Mark Strong, his whole shtick is that he is working with the physical embodiments of the 7 deadly sins, who are embodied as these freaky looking demons.
Right.
And apparently the design of the 7 deadly sins was intentionally and directly influenced by the look of the demon dogs in Ghostbusters.
Oh, really?
But I feel like you don't see that juxtaposition that often in movies that are geared towards younger audiences. A lot of them now feel, even the ones that I enjoy, feel pretty safe.
Right.
Whereas there were moments in SHAZAM that felt genuinely dangerous and genuinely frightening and genuinely fucked up.
Yeah.
There are a couple, and I don't want to spoil any of it for people who haven't seen it yet. It just hit theaters this past weekend, but a couple of moments that made me go, oh, holy shit, we're doing that.
Yeah.
Zachary Levi is tremendous. His relationship with the Freddy character is wonderful. They have amazing chemistry, even better than I think that when he's Billy Batson, even better than the chemistry between those two actors.
Yeah.
I think is the chemistry between SHAZAM and Freddy. But it really is, it's a story about family, very much, first and foremost. There's a big thing that happens in the third act, and it pays off that theme so incredibly perfectly, in my opinion. And for a guy that is somewhat familiar with the source material, the fact that I didn't call earlier that they were going to do what they ultimately do to win the day in the end, I was like kicking myself. I was like, oh my God, like, of course that's what they were going to do. That's a perfect way to pay off these character arcs and also the theme of coming together as a family and learning that the best power is power you can share, that you're not using for selfish means the way Dr. Savannah is.
Right.
And that's theme stuff. I'm not spoiling any plot stuff. Surprise, the good guys win. But, sorry.
How dare you? This is a DC movie. It's variable. How long in until Shazam snaps someone's neck?
But I had a great time with this movie. It is really interesting to see now, given what the public response was, by and large, outside of a small subset of fans, the response to how aggressively dark DC was making their movies. Justice League felt like they, late in production, tried to pivot. Aquaman is just so off the wall bonkers, and now it seems, I dig Aquaman. And now it really does seem like they are pivoting in a far more versatile, variable direction, where you can have a movie like Aquaman, and then less than 6 months later, you can have a movie like SHAZAM, which is by far the lightest movie that they've made.
Yeah.
Then the next one they've got coming out in October is that Joker movie, which looks like, I mean, everybody online is like, it looks like Taxi Driver meets the King of Comedy, but that tonally is very far removed from what they're doing in SHAZAM, and I think that's great. I think it's great that it seems like they've largely moved away from the shared universe model, but because so much of this stuff is so established both in other movies and in the public consciousness at large, you can fill Shazam top to bottom with DC Easter eggs in a way that is super, super, super fun, and also winks at the audience in a way that it felt like they were so averse to fun before. And now it's just, let's find every avenue we can to have fun. And it completely works for me. Yeah. The only thing that didn't work for me about the movie had nothing to do with the movie. When I saw it, there was some dude near the front of the theater. I'd never seen this before. Almost the entire, like 75% of the movie was just on his phone. Oh. In the movie theater near the front.
I mean, maybe he was recording it. Maybe he was...
No, I could see him. I could see what he was doing. He was texting. Oh. Yeah, he was texting and like looking at Facebook.
Maybe he was live texting, like his friend couldn't come, and so he was like, all right, here's what's happening. All right, Shazam is now Shazam. And then he's like, okay, cool. So then bad guy showed up. Sinned.
Look,
they're fighting.
Honestly, Sinned. That's about all that. Like, I wouldn't be that surprised, I guess, because I swear to God, I'd never... Of course, you see this behavior now all the time, but I'd never seen, like, why'd you spend your money, dude? Like, wait outside for your friends if you don't want to be... Look, I don't want to go on this long tirade because I could go for a while. Right. People who think it's okay to take out their phone in a darkened movie theater, like, I find that behavior so deeply disgusting. Yeah. I feel like it tells me every single last thing that I need to know about you as a person. I guess my point is, if somebody is using a phone in a darkened movie theater, say something. Don't say so, because you could be the hero in the room. Because if you notice, other people notice. And a lot of people tend to be non-confrontational, which is often for the best. This is where it's okay to be a hero. Be the one that's like, hey, put that away. Sorry, I'm inciting conflict now. Sorry.
Yeah, fuck them up. Fuck them up in the face. You know, like you see they have a phone, shove it in their mouth. Just take it out their hand, put it in their mouth. And then when they start to like resist, shove it further in until they choke, right? And then once they like lose consciousness, they won't want to use their phone anymore.
So maybe don't do that. Anyway, sorry. You're actually, you know what, folks? You're missing out on manners if you're one of the people that does this. But going back to, like, I dug Shazam a whole bunch. This has nothing to do with Shazam. This is no reflection on my opinion of that film, which I did find an absolute delight. It seems like it's going to do real well box office wise. So presumably a sequel is in the offing, and I'm so curious to see now, especially given some of the teases and the post credits. I'm real curious to see where they take these characters and this series of what I assume will be a series of movies as long as people keep going to see them. Zachary Levi's wonderful. That's it. It's great. Check it out.
Yeah, it's awesome. But guys, what are you into? Let us know on that sweet, sweet Twitter. You know where it is. Missing Outcast. MissingOutcast. Guys, that's where you can hit us up. We're also on Instagram. Follow that sweet, sweet gram. Why don't you become one of our graham crackers? So you can get some more content.
Oh no!
What? No. Is that not good?
That's not.
Are you sure? What? All right. What about it isn't good?
The puns.
Oh, okay. No, you're wrong. But also, make sure to catch us tomorrow. We're going to be talking about the 36 Questions podcast musical by 2 Up Productions. And we're also going to be talking about love, baby. We're going to be going real deep into what love is. You know, we asked, I want to know what love is. And I was like, I want you to show me. I want to feel what love is.
And I was like, stop that. And he didn't.
And then I was like, what is love? Baby, don't hurt me.
No more.
Don't hurt me. I don't know what your resistance is, you know? Love.
I can't feel it right now because I'm still mad at that dude who had his phone out.
Oh, man. But, yeah, so make sure you join us tomorrow. And make sure to hit us up on our personal Twitters. Lex Michael, where can people find you?
I am on Twitter and Instagram at the Lex Michael.
Awesome. And you can find me at Tauri Jay, Taurijay. And we will see you tomorrow. Until then, have a wonderful day. Happy Monday.
Happy Monday.
Hey guys, welcome back to Missing Out Mondays, where we tell you what we're into. Why? Who am I?